Welcome to Indie Cutting Room. I'm Sarah Woodward, here to break down indie films and share tips on how to improve your filmmaking while staying on a budget. Today, I am critiquing an independent film. It's called I Spy, and it's from Shoeless Productions. Let's get into it. So the filter he has on this is like a generic brushstroke filter, and I don't know what program, but I've seen it before, and it looks like he's showing like a montage of the past. I would have liked to just see like black and white, and then I know like this is a recap of what happened when he's saying somebody's watching me. And the music choice is a bit confusing because it's more upbeat. It's a little like lighthearted, and I don't know. This is supposed to be very dramatic. Someone's watching me, and like all this like hidden camera stuff.
For fuck's sake, Oscar, try and hold the camera steady just once.
So the blacking out the frames, if there's no point to it, don't do it. It's like dead air on the radio, just silence on the radio. It's like you do everything you can to avoid showing black frames unless there's a very deliberate purpose for it. And here he's just using it here and there. And it's very like, why? Why are you doing that? Like, show your art. Stop blacking it out. Again, the blackout. Like, why?
Just down by the lake here, getting some work done. Check these two out across the water.
You can see here in the image, he's pushing his color grade too far. For one, it's very, very green, which is fine if that's his thing. But you can see in the blacks, it's starting to get muddy. Let me use my mouse. I'm like pointing. The mouse, look at the mouse. You can see it's getting muddy in the blacks. And so the picture's kind of falling apart because he took it a little too far.
Nah, laptop's dead.
Alright, I'll send it when I get home.
Well, hey, what's up, guys? I'm running a little bit late for my class at the moment.
His monitor is a little overexposed. Should drop that down a little so we can see it better. And again, in the darks, it's getting very grainy. It could be a stylistic thing, or it could have been his equipment. Either way, he could have in post while editing, he could have did a denoiser on it a little bit just to soften it up a little. Because it's to the point where it's not just like filmic looking grain artistically, it's the image is falling apart because he didn't have enough light for the camera that he was using.
Look at this.
Getting it focused. If your autofocus isn't good, don't use it, especially if there's things coming in and out. Like at first it was on the door open, and now it's going on the face. Have someone do an actual rack focus. That way it's nice and smooth. Otherwise your autofocus is searching for things and it's not great.
Wow, couple kilos could kill everyone on the planet. Can you believe people inject this stuff into their faces?
That first sentence, I have no idea what he says. It sounded like a different language, but now he's speaking English, so I'm confused on that. And then also, I just noticed the audio, it sounds like they had a boom mic and the camera's kind of far away. So get the mics closer, use a lav or put the mic closer, extend the mic. You could put it on whatever this tabletop thing that this guy's on. Put it closer to your talent. Ideally, put a lav on them, or have someone with a boom following the talking.
What are we going to do, Oscar? These people could be dangerous.
And again, they did the blackout frame. Why? audio issues there. You have the far away sound with all like the noise from the room. And then you have the cell phone, which he obviously had it nicely recorded. So the image quality is different. If you wanted all that noise and the far away sounding stuff, then record the audio from the phone that way too. Otherwise you have like very clear and distinct phone coming through and then the really bad dialogue coming through, recording coming through. So have them similar and not so different. You'll hear it.
Who's this?
Sebastian Gerstl.
And he didn't have to, the room tone, you could have left the room tone so it sounded like it was still in there. He's fading the room tone up and down, which is very, very distracting. So keep the room tone going with the other recording at the same time.
Lecturer in the university.
And that phone recording is way too loud and way too close to the microphone compared to how far the talent is in the scene.
I believe you have some footage that's of interest to me.
No idea what you're talking about, really. Must have the wrong number.
I don't want to cause you any trouble. Can we speak in person tomorrow at my office on campus? You don't need to bring the material.
Down here, you can see that the image is, they're shooting in really dark, shadowy things, and the image is just falling apart. This camera can't handle it. So could have brought in more lights or not, or push the contrast is pushed really far. So take that down a little, but this image is falling apart.
Just come, please. And
to get the tension, they could have like pushed in on this guy because he's getting this weird phone call and it's a tense moment, right? Build that tension. If you're just going to do one shot far away, build the tension, getting closer. And again, another blackout frame. Why?
Hey guys, interesting morning this morning, investigating some strange things. Can't wait to update you later.
Again, the audio, right? I get we were inside the camera and now we're outside the camera, but that the room noise, like, make it consistent. You could have put that under the camera and brought it in. Otherwise, it's very jarring.
You still here? Sure.
I don't understand the duct taping. Talent is out of focus.
Sorry.
That was a good little moment. I liked it. I liked it.
You want to see him? Oh, Sebastian. Yeah. He's dead. He's dead? What do you mean he's dead? Collapsed.
So I like the story where it's going. It's dramatic. It's fun. It's interesting because you're like, okay, this guy took some random photos of some people and now there's this weird stuff happening. His friend's disappearing. So the drama is there. It's good. It's just some technical issues that I'm just going crazy over, but that's fine.
You don't need to bring the material. Just come, please.
In this room, it looks like he didn't white balance. I mean, maybe he likes the yellowish colors, but it looks like he didn't white balance. I don't understand the duct tape. I feel like they were trying to like hide a logo, but they didn't explain the duct tape, so I'm kind of confused.
Charlie, for your own sake, don't get involved.
Moments like this that are really tense, you could crop in on the people, like get in tight, get in, like feel the emotions, especially when it's like first time actors or actors with not a lot of experience. Make the camera angles do some of the work for them. So you could have punched in really tight and made it uncomfortable, like extreme close-up, uncomfortable tightness to show how uncomfortable he is. Like he probably feels claustrophobic because he's trapped. He doesn't know who these people are. His friend disappeared. So you could play with camera angles to help the actors.
Be watching.
And again, this song, like it's too upbeat. It's like, bah, bah, like we're just chilling, man. We're chilling and hanging out. Yeah. He could have played with more sound effects, brams, risers, downshifters, all these things, because it is like a spy action-packed film. I guess not action, but it's suspenseful. This is repetitive. We saw this at the beginning. So either remove it from the beginning, put it here, or vice versa. So it's very repetitive, especially for a short film like 8 minutes. You don't want to repeat the same scenes within the 8 minutes because it's like, why are we watching this again? I just saw this.
Please.
I like that little bit of sound design he did. That was pretty good. It kind of gets you in that panicky sort of feel.
Charlie, we'll be watching you.
That reveal of him breaking could have been way more dramatic with the way you could cut it, but I like it. He's like hesitant to break his cameras, but then he's like, they're watching me. So with sound design and cutting it specific ways, like you could cut in tighter, you could have even more camera angles. It would have made that more tense and build it up, and then sound effects. Like I want to hear that stuff smashing. The sweater, why? And this shot is poopy. Like we're looking at a lamp. I get that he's showing the hammer, but make that so fast that we don't have to stare at this yellow room and light bulb. And then have the filters. He's using all these interesting artsy filters, but there's no intent behind it. So what's the intention of having these filters? He has like this negative filter here. He had the paint stroke filter at the beginning. What's the why behind it? Don't just use filters to use filters. Use them with purpose. I would have much rather have seen macro shots of these cameras broken with like a shallow depth of field rather than these photos. And again, in these dramatic shots, whoever's on the camera is, or maybe he's just using a tripod, but he's choosing to be far away in these very tense, emotional spots. I feel like he could have gotten tighter, either move that tripod closer or crop in on it. There's different ways to do it.
Somebody's watching me. I don't know who. They could be listening. They could be listening. They could be listening right now.
Oh, fuck's sake, Oscar, can you become a steady woman?
This is a hard type of film to pull off for beginner filmmakers because there's a lot of tension and suspension, and you have to cut it in a way to hold that tension, to hold the audience of like that anticipation of what's going to happen. I feel like he could have cut it in a different way and repurposed the footage in different ways. He reused shots too much, but you know, it was a fun story and he did pretty good. So I'm gonna give that one a 1.5 thumbs up because that's a hard type of film to pull off. He did have some technical issues throughout, but that's a given for first-time filmmakers. And it looks like he had a lot of like older cameras he was working with, and so that's not a big deal. It's just knowing how to get the best image with those older cameras. So good job. I love it. Okay, bye.